Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office. It is Friday morning. Yeah, we've made it through the work week. It is Friday, the 25th day of August, 2023. This is the morning briefing coming to you from my home weather office where when I look out the window, it is just a beautiful Friday morning. Temperatures are down this morning from what we have been seeing the last few mornings, and it's going to be a beautiful day, heading at what's going to be a nice weekend, warm but not too hot for this last weekend of August. So we're going to talk about weekends. So we'll talk about what we're expecting this weekend. And next weekend, of course, is Labor Day weekend. 3-day weekend for many folks. And you may be having travel plans, last weekend of the summer plans. So we'll take a look at that because there are some potential changes. And I'll emphasize potential changes for next weekend. So let's get to all of that. Let's start with what's happening this morning. Nice deep marine layer along the coast. San Francisco, Napa, most of Sonoma County, all socked in with fog. Same thing through San Jose and Carmel, Santa Cruz, and all the way down through the Salinas Valley. Yeah, all socked in with fog. The valley, nice and clear. A couple of clouds going through the Sierra, up along Highway 88, Carson Pass, all the way through the Desolation Wilderness and up toward Kingvale, getting a couple of clouds. Let's focus a little bit on what's happening here to the north. So it's interesting trying to figure out what's happening here on the satellite because some of this is fog and some of this is smoke. As the sun comes up, it's easier to figure out which is which. The smoke is a little bit darker, the fog is a little bit brighter, and all of this will be burning off. Now, this is an area that did see thunderstorms yesterday afternoon. Remember the models showed that yesterday? And sure enough, right around 4 o'clock, we did get thunderstorms that popped up in here. Too early to know whether or not there are some smoldering fires in here that could burn. But there are a couple of complexes in here, especially the Smith River complex that is, last check was 52,000 acres. So a lot of this is smoke. This area that's slightly brighter, that is fog down in the various river valleys in here. And all of that will be burning off. But this area will continue to be pretty smoky. The fog in the area, it does help a little bit, increasing the humidity during the overnight hours, helping the fire lay down. However, for aerial operations, they have to wait until the afternoon to really get in there, but the hand crews are still working. In a fire like this, a big fire like the Smith River complex, this is just classic performance here. The fire lays down at night. It doesn't progress all that much. We have a lot of smoke, and then as the inversion lifts, as we get the heating of the day in the afternoon, there are some hours between 2 and 5, 2 and 6 o'clock that where the fire does get active once again. It takes the lid off. You get more oxygen into the fire, and so that's when you get the most active parts of the fire. And as we get later into the season, as we get into September, and the days get shorter, the nights get longer, then the fire behavior starts to decrease as well because the hours where the fire can be active are quite a bit less, unless, of course, you have a north wind. And, there's all sorts of things to deal with then as we get into the fall. Nice, cool morning. I'm going to show you the 8 o'clock observations that we have. This is the list of 8 o'clock obs. A couple of interesting things to point out here. As you can see, Napa says it's cloudy and 63. Let's see, Redding, no fog, 72. And then around the greater Sacramento area, Travis Air Force Base, 62 degrees with the wind out of the southwest at 24. That's a classic onshore breeze, helping to bring the cooler air in. Downtown Sacramento is 64. But then look at the inversion, Auburn, 72. Now, I've heard from some of you in Auburn that live not too far from the airport that say that the airport runs warmer. It just, depends on exposure, ridge tops, all of that sort of thing. So while we say it's 72 in Auburn, it may not be that representative for all of you in Auburn, especially some of you that might live in some of the valleys. So I kind of want to point out, let's say 64 in Sacramento downtown, 72 in Auburn, and then look at Blue Canyon up at 5,200 feet, 64 degrees with a calm wind. So same temperature in Blue Canyon that we have in downtown Sacramento at 8 o'clock in the morning. So let's take a look at the big picture and see what is going to be going on here. Let me back this up, and I'm going to show you the 6Z run. So this is the run that happens during the middle of the night. One of my frustrations at this time of year for these morning updates is that we don't have the 12Z run in. So this is what's happening this morning. We have this low here, that little wave that's rotating around the low is what helped to touch off those thunderstorms yesterday. Today we won't be seeing any of that. As we head through the day, we'll have southwesterly flow, comfortable temperatures. The ridge is well off to our east. That shifts a little bit through the weekend. That ridge starts to push back a little bit. We'll see temperatures get into the upper 90s, maybe as high as 100. We are currently calling for some 100s maybe around Wednesday. We may have to shift that back to Tuesday. But the interesting thing is that as this low goes inland here, we'll see a nice onshore breeze on Tuesday, so that will help. But this ridge will make for very warm weather in Southern California, Arizona, and Utah. And so while we may see some heat next week, watch what happens beyond that. This is Wednesday night into Thursday. Another trough digs our way. So while we may see some heat next week with temperatures maybe 100, 102, it won't be lasting very long. So now let's take a look at this sneak peek that I want to give you for Labor Day weekend. A couple of model runs have now been featuring either a deep trough or another cutoff low coming our way. This is getting into Friday night, a week from Friday, so a week from tonight. And then this is Saturday, and then this is Sunday. And then this is Labor Day Monday, that low just kind of spinning around in here. Now, quite often these have been dry, but the models are now indicating, I'm going to show you the precipitable water here. So this is the amount of water in the atmosphere. This is next Tuesday. As you can see by these colors, this is very dry air. So these brown colors are very dry. These colors that are more in the bluish teal color, those are higher values of precipitable water. So this would be next Thursday night. Here's that low. You can see the wind arrows here coming from the north, then from the south and the southwest. So you have this low spinning around here. And with this flow starting to come up from the south, rotating around the low, well, that, as the low rotates off the coast, it starts spinning moisture up our way, meaning we could have some cloud cover and maybe some rain in some areas. Well, let's take a look at the precipitation. And I'm going to back this up. So this would be next Wednesday. We're fine. We get the onshore breeze back. This is Thursday. And then this is next Saturday. And then this is Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Sierra rain. And instead of being just the typical monsoon, this looks like it could be just some steady rain. This is Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. And so not saying it's going to rain in the Sierra on Labor Day weekend, saying it might. The only reason I want to point this out because, well, first off, I mean, you know that I don't like things that are more than 7 days out, and a week from Sunday certainly would qualify for that. However, the models are kind of leaning that way. So the reason I want to bring it up to you is that because it's Labor Day weekend, because many of you may have plans to be in the Sierra camping, or maybe just being in the Tahoe Basin, Tahoe, Truckee, any places that you like to go camping in the Sierra, we might have some rain. I'm not saying you cancel your plans right now. I'm just saying you pay attention to the forecast for next weekend. So this weekend, great. Summer weekend, temperatures in the mid-90s today, upper 90s on Saturday, Sunday. Great to do anything outdoors, warm but not too hot for this time of year. And while there may be a couple of days around 100 next week, it doesn't look as though it's going to be very prolonged or very excessive. And then, again, if you have outdoor plans for Labor Day weekend in the mountains, just stay tuned to the forecast. The models will change a lot between now and when we start really making our decisions about next weekend. So just stay tuned to those changes and then make your plans accordingly. But, a week or more away, I wouldn't cancel any plans or worry about it at this point. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention that something is out there. All right, it is Friday. We're heading into the weekend. I'll be putting on a suit and tie and going to the office to do the news from 4 through 11 o'clock tonight. And that's everything I've got for you this morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.